Hello, so if you're receiving this video, you are someone that has asked for more information about my juice fast protocol, and I'm working on trying to get together some sort of package that like document or something that breaks it down, what's included, the health benefits for those that are just interested but haven't signed up yet, because I have the protocols for the people that have signed up with everything that they need, like day-to-day kind of instructions and ingredients and recipes and stuff like that. But as this expands, I'm needing to, there's people that are asking for more information, and normally that's over as a 15-minute discovery call. I give that, but with the amount of people just asking for more information, I'm doing this video. Long story short. So basically, I believe everyone should be doing this. It's super important to clean our bodies. You know, we clean our house, we clean our cars, we do oil changes and change filters on our cars, and, you know, maintain them to make sure that they run properly. Otherwise, they don't last as long. They die, they break down. But most people aren't doing that for their bodies. You know, some people, not even everyone, some people take supplements and stuff like that, but you can't supplement your way out of parasites. I mean, no, you can't. You need to take tinctures and stuff like that, but you can't supplement your way to a healed body. It's so much deeper than that, and a big key component to fully healing our body and having our body functioning at its like optimal capacity is by cleaning it, like giving it the best shot it has at then maintaining its health and staying vibrant. But we have to clean out, do some of the heavy lifting for the body, and we just have to give our bodies a break and give it the nutrients it needs to heal itself. And that's the point of the juice fast. You're not digesting anything because you're just having juices, but you're also not, it's not like a water fast or a dry fast where you're going to be really you're depriving yourself of nutrients and stuff like that, and you're gonna have all these like fasting, I don't want to say side effects, but like the word's not side effects, but it's not coming to me. But basically, you're gonna have with water fasting and dry fasting, you have all these side effects, the detox symptoms, they're called, and they're a lot stronger with water fasting, where, you know, I've done water fasting and I've just been bedridden and barely sleeping at night with so much pain in my body and barely even being able to walk to the bathroom. That's how bad the side effects were. And I believe that, and with the juice fasting, sure, there's some side effects, but your body, it's not even close to that, because you're still getting you're still getting the calories that you would normally get, sometimes more, sometimes less. For most people, it's actually more calories than they would normally be getting on their regular diet, because you're drinking, depending on the person and how many calories you need, you're drinking 6 to 8 32-ounce jars of juice per day. I have my juice right here. I'm not on a juice fast right now per se, but I'm just mostly having liquids in the day because that's what my body's calling for, and that's what feels really good. And I'm still in the process of cleaning my body. You know, it's a process depending on how much healing your body needs will depend on how long this journey is. Some people, you know, their body's functioning well and they just want to detox. Some people have disease, some people have illnesses, and this juice fasting has reversed that. Juice fasting has fully cleared and healed people of diseases and illnesses that doctors couldn't even help them with, or doctors told them, pretty much gaslighted them and told them that they were crazy, that there was nothing wrong with them. That was part of my journey, was endlessly going to the doctor because I felt awful and my bloating was so bad and my stomach pain was so bad, and it didn't matter what I ate. My stomach pain was so bad that I couldn't even have clothes touching my stomach sometimes, and I would spend so much time just lying on a cold floor to help relieve some of what I was feeling in my stomach. And it was like this my whole life, and I just thought you know, that was normal, that everyone got like that after, you know, even barely eating. You know, I could wake up and I'd drink water and all of a sudden I'm bloated and I don't feel good. So it wasn't until my 20s where I was like, okay, what's wrong with me? And all through my teens, I was definitely back and forth to the doctor. And basically, yeah, I was told there was nothing wrong. Blood tests are fine. You're fine. You're fine. And then I started to work with naturopaths, and they started to help me discover that there was lots of imbalances, hormonal imbalances. Yeah, a lot of cortisol, like high levels of cortisol moving through the body, which again, that can be a source of trauma, like unresolved trauma from living in fight or flight for so long, which it was for me. And then that can lead to so many other issues, you know, that can lead to like overeating to soothe yourself as a kid, or many other things. But for me, it was that. And not feeling safe in your body. You don't feel safe in your body. You don't digest your food. And there's so many different layers of what can create all of this disharmony and disease in the body. And one of them as well, so, you know, trauma can be one of them. Suppressed emotions can be another one of them. And the parasites being a big one. Parasites can create hormonal imbalances. They create brain fog. They create indigestion. They create all kinds of imbalances and disease in the body. And doctors used to put people through yearly parasite cleanses every year. And it was said that the people that did that didn't get sick, but it was only the people that didn't do the yearly parasite cleanse that were prone to get sick. And you know, I could say a lot about the Western medicines, but we don't need to get into that. But basically, who this is for is really anyone. I think everyone should be doing a yearly cleanse of their body, even if you don't have illness or disease or crazy strong symptoms. Like most people that are called to this path, most people that feel a resonance and a knowing in them that they're meant to do a juice fast, usually it's because there's a health issue, or you know, and nothing else has worked, or they just don't feel good in their body and they've tried everything and nothing has worked. So I trust that if you're being called to this, then there's something there for you, and to trust that, because I haven't seen anyone do this that it hasn't changed their life. There's no one that I've seen do this that would regrets it or anything. They all have amazing things to say about it and would do it again. I just had a client that just had the most amazing results, including cellulite on her legs disappear, and like all kinds of just little things that were, I was even surprised that some of the experiences that she was having. And I love watching people transform through this journey, because it's a full physical, energetic, and spiritual death and rebirth. You're not just purging the physical body. You're not just killing parasites, because you are killing the parasites. You're killing parasites. You're moving releasing mucoid plaque from your intestines. If you Google mucoid plaque, there's people that say it's a myth, as there's controversy on everything on the internet. However, if you watch some juicing videos on YouTube, you see that it's not. And I know that it's not, and this is why I post pictures of my own mucoid plaque on Facebook, as well as some of my clients' mucoid plaque, to show people it's real. You know, I went through it myself. I talk through experience. I talk from what I know, because I walked through this myself. And yeah, we have 26 to 30 feet of intestines, and we have a lifetime's worth of backup of this plaque that lines our entire intestinal tract. 26 to 30 feet of black, slippery, sludgy rope that literally comes out like, it literally is like rubber. It's crazy. And it just slips out of you in the morning once you start passing it. And every time you pass this, like, you just keep getting clearer and clearer, and you feel lighter and lighter, and you just feel like you're floating. I remember, you know, the first days aren't so bad, but like as you get close to day 10, you may experience, or in my experience, I experienced a lot of cravings because that, you know, some of that is food addiction, emotional stuff, you know, wanting to numb with food. Pretty much you get to see a lot of your patterns, especially around food. And then it's an invitation to work through deeper things. It's like, okay, why am I wanting food so badly right now? Like, why is this so strong? Because you're not hungry at all. You're fully full and satisfied with the juices that you're getting. You feel high, you feel amazing with the juices you're getting, but you start to notice when you have those pulls for food and you're like, oh, okay, what is, you know, why is this so strong? And you start to see some of your patterns and coping mechanisms and stuff like that, because when we're not being numb with food and our body's not putting so much attention to when am I going to eat next, or even putting so much attention into and energy into digesting, you really get to you have to face more of yourself. You're with yourself a little bit more, and more stuff comes to the surface naturally. And because you're physically detoxing the body and killing off these parasites. And then, you know, after day 10, you start what I call the detox pudding. It's also called a plasma pudding, which is a mixture of ingredients, psyllium, bentonite clay, food grade, obviously, black charcoal, psyllium husks, I don't know if I already said that, which is like the fiber, and then slippery elm, which kills parasites and also creates that slip. So you start taking that after day 10, once you've pretty much stopped bowel movements. It's crazy that day 10 and even forward, you're still having bowel movements and you're still just passing irregular waste. And then day 10, it's slowed down enough, so that's when we introduce this pudding that you take 1 to 2 times a day, and that's something that I kind of gauge with my clients depending on what they're feeling and stuff. And then we whether raise the amount of pudding you're receiving or lower it as well, to make sure that you're getting the right, to make sure you're getting the plaque out and you're getting you're seeing the results basically. And yeah, usually when you start taking that, you start passing this mucus plaque, which is, like I said, sometimes, usually the first couple days, you're getting like little chunks of the plaque, and you're like, oh, is that plaque? Is that just a regular bowel movement? What is that? And then the more you go, it starts coming out in bigger and bigger chunks, until like sometimes it's coming out in like 1 foot to 2 feet long, just like literally like rope. Like you can't even mistake it for anything else. And yeah, you get the proof yourself that it's real. And yeah, you start to feel lighter and lighter because the parasites are dying off. You're creating an inhabitable environment for them as well, because they can't survive off of this. Only thing that they're surviving off of is the leftover waste in your body. And it takes some time to kill off all the parasites, because there are so many different stages of their life cycle happening in your body. So, you know, you can kill off the adults, but then after, you know, then the babies are going to hatch. So that's why it's the longer you do this, the better. Now, you don't have to go, you know, you might only be ready for a 20-day for your first time, and then you do, you know, a 40-day a year later or whatever. But ideally, the longer the better, for sure, because then you're hitting more of the life cycles, and you know, you're getting more bang for your buck. If you do it 40 days the first time, you might not have to do it again so soon, or you might not have to do other things to continue to clear out the parasites, because as I've learned of doing this for 2 years now, is how resilient they are and how adaptive they are. You know, you start taking this kind of tincture, you start working with this herb that kills them, and they adapt, and then there's still more. And I've done so many different things to see what works and what doesn't to eradicate them. And I'm still going. My last juice fast a few months ago, I still released parasites. I still released mucoid plaque as well. Not much mucoid plaque, but parasites for sure. What else? But yeah, so day 10, you start taking this pudding, you start passing this plaque, and throughout the entire process, so you're basically just consuming juice, 6 to 8 jars of this. There's a green juice, so this one's a green juice, and then there's different ones. There's a watermelon one, there's an orange one. I, for myself, tend to just stick to the green and the watermelon one. It keeps it simple, keeps it more, keeps it a little bit cheaper, because then I'm not doing a bunch of different juices and there's just less ingredients, and it's just cheaper that way. And this is the one that does all the work. This is the most important juice. This is the one that pulls all the heavy metals from your body and is the most detoxing. It has cilantro, which is pulls heavy metals. Pretty much all the herbs are pulling heavy metals from the body, and they're really high in minerals. So cilantro, parsley, peppermint, cucumber, celery, apple, lemon, ginger, turmeric, and a little bit of habanero, just to give it a little bit of kick and help things move. So that's the main green juice that you'd be drinking 2 to 3 of these per day, and then you'd be filling up with the rest of those juices, because you're getting anywhere from 6 to 8 depending on how much you need to feel satiated. You'd be getting a combination of watermelon juice and orange juice, even beet juice if you want. Again, it's not just one ingredient, there's multiple different ingredients in them. The watermelon is just straight watermelon. The orange juice is orange, carrot, turmeric, pineapple, ginger. I think that's it. And then there's a beet juice as well, that's like beet, apple, carrot, lemon. I think that's it. But basically, yeah, for depending on what the client's liking and what they want, it is what I prepare. This is the only non-negotiable, because it's the one that does the heavy lifting, and this is the most important one. And it feels literally like liquid light. Like, you drink this and you feel high. Like, you feel high and you feel so clear. Like, you wake up feeling quite depleted because you're not digesting anything. There's not food. So in the morning you feel like quite depleted and empty, especially at the beginning. And there's some days you wake up and you just feel like so excited to meet life. You feel so happy and so light, and you just feel incredible. And there's other days that you're like, you don't want to get out of bed because you just feel like depleted. But then you just drink this and you feel ready to go, and you feel like you literally just plugged yourself into like a power outlet. Like, I normally start my first green juice while I'm in meditation before I've had anything else. And I just sit there in meditation for a while, and then I start drinking my green juice, and I can feel, it's just, I love experiencing how it feels like I'm turning on every cell of my body, and my whole body just like lights up slowly. And I absolutely love the feeling. You know, that you get, maybe not addicted, but it's like, it's hard to go back to your old eating habits and your old life, I guess, once you've experienced what it feels like when you're giving your body life. That's why I still incorporate this one into my day, even when I'm eating, because, you know, once you experience heaven, you don't want to come back down, you know, you don't want to, and obviously you can't juice your entire life. I mean, some people do, but most people can't juice their entire life. So you want to clean your body so it's functioning optimally. You're not having these cravings that are mostly parasites dictating what you want to eat, amongst many other things. You know, we could go way into the spiritual side of that, but I don't need to do that. You can always ask me personally more about that if you're curious. And then you're clearing the mucoid plaque from your body, so you feel so much lighter after, and your digestive system has healed so much. It's like you're in a brand new body. And then once you're coming off the fast, it's like you slowly introduce foods again, and you get to really feel what foods feel really awful and what foods feel good. Your body is so clear in what it does and doesn't want, and your diet naturally cleans. Like, my diet has been like naturally cleaning over the years as I listened to it more. But the juice fast fully shifted so much for me. Like, I was no longer craving the foods that I would eat that hurt my stomach. Like, I would eat them because whatever, it felt like everything hurt my stomach, but I was able to now feel what wasn't hurting and what was hurting. I was able to get a lot clearer in what my body actually needed and wanted, and it was a lot less. I've simplified my ingredients and what I put in my body, and for the most part, if I'm actually listening to my body, I feel incredible. I feel so incredible now. There is times that I still slip up and I don't, I eat some cooked food or something. And for me, I'm raw vegan now, and that's just naturally happened. It doesn't happen for everyone that does this path. It doesn't mean that you're going to become raw if you do this, but you 100% will not be the same person in a lot of ways. And the food that you eat is going to change for sure. Like what you feel good with, like you're just going to notice more. You're going to be way more tapped into your body on a physical level, emotional level, and an energetic level as well. Because as you're purging out the physical, there's memory, you're clearing the cellular memory from the body as well. And you're purging old, stagnant, stuck emotion, which also leads to disease. We know this. I mean, everything is connected. Everything is connected. When we're purging the physical, things come up to be felt and released. So we're healing, we're getting to release so much during this. And that's why included in this, I offer, if you're doing like the full package, I offer coaching. So weekly coaching for, once a week coaching, where it's a distant healing session / coaching, whatever is needed intuitively. Each week it's a little bit different. It's fully guided intuitively for whatever is currently coming up for you. And then and to also to help clear the emotions and the energy that are coming up to the surface and help unravel some of the stories to support in the process that's naturally happening. So that's included. What else? So I'll just now go into what's included in the packages. So base level package, that is $5.99. That just covers I send you literally everything that I have, like all my protocols, the ingredient list, resources of where you can get the ingredients, the recipes, literally a breakdown of what to expect daily, as well as tips and tricks like teeth care, because this can be really hard on the enamel. So literally everything that you need to know. So you don't have to do any extra research. You don't have to be, it's just made simple. But I literally just send all of that stuff to you, and then you're on your own and you do it yourself. Obviously, if you need to have questions, you need to reach out here and there for sure. And then you would obviously need your own juicer as well, and you buy everything else that you need. The next tier up from there is you can do 20, 30, 40 days or longer, obviously. But basically starting at 20 days, you can do less if you want, and that's something that we could, create a package for you if you want to do less than 10 days. But really, I think we should be doing a minimum 20-day process to get the plaque out and to kill the parasites. You need to do this a little bit longer. So starting at the 20-day, that's $3,500, and in that is included all the ingredients for the tincture that I make. So I make a parasite tincture that has all the ingredients that kill all the parasites at their different life cycles. So I make that fresh organically, and I deliver that with the fresh juices every 2 to 3 days as needed. So that is included. I also make a tea blend that purifies the blood, oxygenates the blood, and opens up the detox pathways in the body to purge out the dead parasites, and also just to support the body in detoxing, especially the liver. So that I provide, and then I provide all the ingredients and the preparation for the detox pudding. So detox pudding that you start on day 10 and all the way forward into your fast that clears out the mucus plaque. I pre-mix all of the ingredients to make it as easy as possible. And all you have to do is literally put those dry ingredients into a bowl, add roughly 1.5 cups of juice, you whisk it together, let it sit for a couple minutes, just so it's a little bit more of a pudding texture and more enjoyable to eat. It actually tastes pretty good because none of the dry ingredients have flavor. So it just tastes like whatever juice you buy. You just buy an organic juice to it, because you don't want to use your precious fresh pressed juice for that, because it basically, the activated charcoal pulls all the sugars from your body when it's doing that. So you just want to not waste one of your good juices for that. So you just, I mean, you can, but like it's not right. I don't recommend that. So yeah, so you take that twice a day, and that's already prepped. I pay for those ingredients. I prep those and deliver them as well. And then obviously for my time and gas and all of that is all covered as well in that pricing. And the only thing that's extra on top of that $3,500 for the 20 days is groceries. So groceries is the only thing that I don't include in the pricing. It's roughly for most of my clients, it's roughly for the 3 days worth of juices, which is roughly about 18 jars of juice. That's going to cost you around like, it's going to be anywhere from like 100 to max 120. It's rarely 120. It was the most grocery, like most of the grocery bills I would send to my clients were like anywhere from $80 to 110. And that's every 2 days, because I do groceries every 2 days, so I can juice for the full day and then deliver the next day. And that's 3 days worth. So you're looking at, which is, you know, it boils down to roughly like $40 a day, which is, especially for most people with groceries and their coffee, if you're getting a coffee on your way to work or whatever your lifestyle, but for the average person, they're spending a lot more on food and groceries than you would spend on a juice fast. So it's actually quite, you know, when you look at the groceries, it's not that much. But yeah, for the 20 days, it roughly ends up around $1,000 for 20 days for the groceries. I do the groceries, I price match everything. And I, just to keep it as cost efficient as possible for my clients. Yeah, I do the groceries. I just send you a receipt after each grocery trip, and I receive an e-transfer. And then, yeah, everything else is included, including my delivery and everything like that. And then as well, you get daily check-ins. So every single day I check in, and then you have access to me all day, every day. If you have questions, if whatever you're experiencing, symptoms, whatever, you're not going to experience anything crazy. You're going to have energy. You're going to feel satiated. Sure, you're going to have some cravings. That's a normal part of the process. Sure, you're going to feel a little bit fatigued someday, but for the most part, you're just going to increasingly feel better and better and better. However, most people, you miss food more and more and more. You just miss the experience of eating. But you'll feel better and better and better as you keep going. If you go up to the 35, it's just an extra 1,000. So it's basically 1,000 per extra 10 days. So you go up to the 45. So if you go up to 30 days, it's 4,500, and then 30 days is 4,500, and then 40 days is 5,500. And same things, all things are included, other than groceries. That includes your weekly coaching / healing session. And yeah, I think that's everything. I have pricing, not pricing. I have payment plans as well that I offer. And obviously if there's like something that you're not wanting and you just want the juices or whatever, obviously my packages can be modified for each person. The other option I have, it's like the in-between package, which you can do 20, 30 or 40 days as well, is you can, I coach you through 20, 30 to 40 days. I give you all the protocol like I do in the package one for $5.99. I give you all the details that you need to do it every single day, and and the breakdown, everything that you need. You juice yourself, I just coach you, and you have daily access to me. So you have coaching and guidance and support through the whole process. And this at 20 days starts at $1,100, and then it goes up from there depending on how many days you go. So it can be structured for you depending on how much support you need and what you're valuing out of me as a coach, and to share the knowledge that I have. So it depends on how much support you're needing. Most people that are doing this are wanting the full thing, because obviously the juicing takes Juicing takes a lot of time, and it makes it a lot easier when you don't have to think about anything. Everything's done for you. All you have to do is drink juice, and once a day a tea and a little bit of a tincture in the morning. But like everything's done for you. The instructions are clear. But other people are like ready to take it on and just like want to do it themselves, and they're going to get the juicer, and they want to really learn from this process and really kind of get really involved in it, and they don't want quite as much, or don't feel like they need quite as much support, or they've done something like this before. So it really depends on where you're at, but basically that is that's, I think, most of the information I think that anyone would need to know about this process to see if it's right for them. You can certainly do this while you're working. I have clients that have done it with full-time jobs and kids, and yeah, you actually have more capacity for life because you feel so clear, and yeah, you feel so energetically clear and energized most of the time. Sure, you're gonna have days, but we have days when we're on a regular diet. So yeah, if there's any other questions, I'm trying to like just think if I'm like, for most people, what they ask, to like throw it all in here without trying to make it too long. So I'll keep it at that. If you do have any more questions and you want to structure a certain pricing plan or a different coaching plan that works for you, just book a free call through my website, which the link I will provide as well. But if you don't have the link, it's alyssafaith.com, so www.alyssafaith.com. And then in my offerings, you'll just see a 15-minute discovery call. That's for whatever anyone wants to talk to me about. So you can book that and just expect 30 to 40 minutes of a call, just in case you don't know. It depends on how many questions you have and what you want to go over. So that's it. If you're interested and this feels like an alignment for you, and I feel like the person that you want to work with for this process, I can't wait to get started. And yeah, we'll chat soon. If you have any questions, reach out.